Welcome to episode 10, the first milestone, 10 episodes. Still on NL10. Coincidence? I don't think so. Alright. Steal. Yeah, this feels like a nitty bad fold, but it actually isn't. I mean, you have to think about what their ranges look like, and they're just gonna be both on extremely tight ranges that just have ace-jack suited absolutely crushed. And we're out of position against two people. Weird situation. We are hoping for a spade on the turn. There it is. It's a pretty good spade too, because we generate a lot of fold equity here, I think. And if we don't generate it on the turn, then we will on the river. Or should be.
Right, the 90s.
So I'm gonna bluff the river, wish me luck. And it works, and I have to admit, when you're shotting a new limit, these are the kind of bluffs that you absolutely hate making. But yeah, if it's part of your strategy, you just gotta go with it. If you know it's working in the long run, then just stick to it. And if you already know that you won't be able to do it, then yeah, just don't bet the flop, right? Oh, that was a mistake, the fold there. So here we probably made him fold something like tens, I guess. Something, I mean, maybe exactly tens or something similar to that in hand strength, in relative hand strength. And that is nice, right? I mean, it could also be that he folded pocket deuces or ace king, who knows? And at that point it's not that impressive anymore. But anyway, we definitely made him fold a better hand. It's very unlikely that he had a worse hand than ace 4, so... Made him fold 100% equity on the river in a 60 big blind pot, and that's very high EV if you can make that work. And obviously it doesn't work like that in poker. You have to look at range versus range to estimate the real EV of the play, but in general, bluffing shit hands on the river and they fold very... They fold hands that have you beat. Is one of the big money makers in poker. And it's not even that it generally is, from a theory standpoint of view, it isn't. It's just another play. It's just the same as a flop c-bet or pre-flop 3-bet bluff or whatever. But the reason it is so profitable in the real world is that if you make those bluffs, whereas your opponents never do them, you're now creating a situation where you can make a profit that other people are not using, and because this is a zero-sum game in theory, it isn't because of break, but yeah, you know what I mean, right? It's the difference that you have versus other players that is making you the profit. It's not what you're actually doing that's making you the profit. If everyone did the same, then nobody would be profiting. So this is the spot where if he raises now, we're dead. And if he calls, we're in a really good spot, because then I think the only hands that have us beat is slow played queens plus. Or something that could hit the river and improve, but like on that kind of turn, like if he has pocket fours, he's gonna raise, right? He's not gonna just call his turn with pocket fours or 4-6 suited or whatever. But he's gonna call pocket fives, he's gonna call pocket sevens probably, he's probably gonna call nines plus. He's probably gonna call 8-9 suited, and stuff like that. Or ace king of spades, even though that's kind of a hand that's unexpected too. Interesting turn, this combo I bet. Could check as well, I think. But I think I want to check. Something like queen 10 of diamonds, better check. To exploit their tendencies. Sometimes there's not much going on in this game, even if you play 3 zoom tables. Now imagine this little stretch that I just had that lasted like 10 seconds. Imagine this 10-second stretch of not having any hand to play or nothing happening. Or maybe it was like 30 seconds, I don't know, but translate that into a real life table with 10 people sitting on it. It would probably take an hour to get through this phase. And then online poker just doesn't last long at all. Okay, so here we get swap line versus UTG 3-bet, which is... I expect it to be incredibly tight if this guy does it, so... His flop check is weird, to be honest. I think it is ace-king very often. And that's the doom turn. Now his entire range should be beating us. I don't see a single hand that we have beat. maybe tens. I don't think he has any Jack X, like Queen Jack suited or something like that in his range. So I just think his entire range has a speed tier now. So I'm not gonna be putting any more bets in. And if he shows tens, then yeah, that's the only hand that I expect. The only 6 combinations that we have beat. And it's the ace king, just as I predicted it. Which is not too hard. Because small blind versus UTG, reg versus reg is something that is usually played with incredibly tight ranges. And we flop a pretty unique situation. It's not that unique, but the way I play my aces here is to check the flop. So for example, if I have aces here without the ace of diamonds, I would bet, and this combo I check. Because obviously, I mean, I definitely want to protect my checks here, so if I have something like ace king, I don't want to be betting it. But I kind of want to see a turn with ace king, and I want to take away the opportunity for this guy to just always bet when it checks through. So we trap here. And we jam the river. So hopefully he has a pair and calls. I think after his turn check it's unlikely that he has a speed here. But I guess he had just air, and that kind of confirms why I want to have a check there on the flop. If he just randomly bets whatever whenever it checks through, then and I always bet my strong hands and always check my weak stuff that can't really continue, or it's just a very small portion of that range that can continue, then his bullshit strategy of just always, oh, check through to me, I'm gonna bet half pot, is actually hardcore exploiting me. So I definitely want to have those slow plays in there, and I think aces with the ace of diamonds makes a lot of sense. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Bye bye.